Dusty, you're right here. Dusty, you're here.
Where's Emma?
She'll come.
Hi there.
Can't start without Emma.
You're welcome.
She'll
Oh, we
come.
will not
Emma's
start without
always takes care of us.
Takes us out.
Don't read my notes.
I'm not
I
going to
saw
look.
you.
I just was
You
checking
being
it
like
out.
Okay, you're pushing me in. Okay, you do your photo op, Dust. Dustin.
Just Dusty.
Merci, messieurs les photographes. Thank you, dear photographers.
I'm here. For this, yeah. For a poster.
Thank you very much, dear photographers. Please go back to your seats. The press conference is about to begin. Be kind enough to let words rule.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't know.
Merci à vous.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think, Dusty?
Thank you very much.
That's all I'm thinking about.
Do it with you.
Well,
Best. I like the scenes in the house together.
I like.
All
Not
right.
sure, yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the press conference from the MEYEROWITZ Stories New and Selected, Noah Baumbach's film screening tonight in competition. Dear journalists and friends, let me introduce you the talents on this stage. Ladies first, and what a lady. With Howard's End, she won her first Academy Award for Best Actress and took Oscar home again for Sense and Sensibility, terrific adapted screenplay. One of today's finest and most versatile actresses, she's reunited with Dustin Hoffman for the third time, offering a gem of a performance as Maureen, his not too sober wife. British actress and two-time Oscar winner, Emma Thompson.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's right, Emma.
To her left, a man of many talents, actor, comedian, screenwriter, producer, and musician. He came to Cannes in 2002 for Paul Thomas Anderson's Punch Drunk Love, a performance which led to a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor.
I remember that.
Today, as Danny Meyerowitz, he reunites with Dustin Hoffman, his co-star in The Cobbler, and Ben Stiller, her first time since Happy Gilmore.
Whoa.
Adam Sandler, welcome back to Cannes.
Thank you. Great to be here. Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Next,
I just think it's cool to hear Happy Gilmore mentioned a Cam. I like
be
that.
my
Where it
guest.
belongs, baby.
Yes. Well, next to me, an American actor, comedian, filmmaker, producer, and Emmy Award winner whose rich and long-time collaboration with Noah Baumbach started with Greenberg, followed by While We're Young. As Matthew Meyerowitz, we know he can handle almost anything but his father. Granted, Harold is no Bernie Fokker. Ladies and gentlemen, Emmy Award winner, Ben Stiller.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
Next to him, a man who needs no introduction, really. From era-defining movies to acclaimed stage roles, we have all grown up with his unmistakable presence and voice. As Harold Meyerowitz is a daunting father figure we ultimately love and forgive. Two-time Academy winner, Dustin Hoffman. Last but not least, with such films as The Quid and the Whale, Margot at the Wedding, Greenberg, Frances R., Mistress America, he has emerged as a leading voice in American independent cinema, both storyteller and filmmaker. This is his first Cannes selection. Center stage as he should be, Oscar-nominated writer, director, producer, Noah Baumbach.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Noah.
Well, Noah Baumbach, what's so powerful about your films, really, is the way they resonate within each of us, but also how strongly personal they feel. How long have the Meyerowitz and these new and selected stories have truly been living in your mind, whether they help you explore or revisit?
Well,
it's hard to know because you sort of have a few different ideas in your head, and they kind of sit there, and you maybe entertain them in previous scripts, and then you cut them out, and then at some point they all seem to kind of rise up, and that was the case with this one. There were a few elements that I think I'd been thinking about for a while, and they kind of they found some kind of nest in this movie.
It's like former girlfriends.
Former girlfriends. Oh, that's not analogy. All right.
That was lost in translation.
Well, at the recent Tribeca talks, Noah, you told Dustin Hoffman that tapping into your memories helped you access something, quote, raw, personal, and emotional. So this is a question for you as his actors in this film. When you read Noah's script, Emma, Dustin, Ben, Adam, is that how it felt to you? Raw, personal, emotional, and maybe attracted you to these characters who ultimately are all bruised?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I couldn't believe when I read the script. I thought it was the most amazing thing. I couldn't put it down. It was, it just gripped you, and I knew it was funny, and I knew it was emotional. I just was very attracted to my character, very attracted to the whole movie, and I really was as excited as I've ever been reading something.
I have a framed text that Adam sent me when he read the script because
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
a lot of
I sent him
it's
a
a
lot
lot of
text.
buddy.
Yeah, it got me so many times. I was misty-eyed, laughing. I just couldn't believe we were going to get to do this movie and show this story. I loved it.
What about you, Emma?
Well, I mean, I'd always wanted to work with Noah anyway, because I love all his work. So that was just immediate, because I knew it would be a great script. And then I read it, and actually, unlike Adam, but I think it's because I'm not from America and from that kind of family, it was quite a foreign country to me.
Oh, wow.
And so I read it and thought, I have absolutely no idea what this is going to be like. I know it's going to be fascinating, but I had no idea at all. And then I thought, oh, I've got to play an American, which is quite hard, and I've got to play an alcoholic, which isn't hard at all. So that was the thing probably that attracted me most, because I thought, well, I'll be able to relax about playing the American, because being drunk will make it so much easier.
Sorry, this is water we're having today.
Not in mine, darling, but anyway, it's your problem.
You're laughing, Ben. What about your reaction? Obviously, you know Noah very well.
Oh, to the script, or I was really. I mean, I was just happy that that Noah wanted to work together again after a couple of times. I was very fortunate to get the call. I thought the script was beautiful. I was reading the script. I thought the first 30 or 40 pages were kind of slow.
You don't know until 41, right?
I don't. Yeah, my character shows up on 41. Yeah. I was, and then when he told me that Dustin Hoffman was auditioning to play the dad, I was so excited. And we read together, and there was some chemistry, and I was really. I mean, I think it's a beautiful script, and Noah's writing is incredibly precise and unique, and and his filmmaking style is very singular, and I from the process through the editing to what he puts out there. So I'm always happy to be a part of anything that he's creating.
What about you, Dustin Hoffman? I mean, being Harold and reading the script, how did it feel to you?
Well, like everyone else, all of us would work for Noah for nothing. In fact,
Did work for him for In fact, it cost me money. Sorry to interrupt.
that's what's called independent.
Me too.
Well, he's quite expert. He really is the best, and we do say his dialogue word for word, whether we like it or not. And I think not since The Graduate was I required to say every single word, and it pays off because there is a music to his writing. I agree with Ben. He is a singular artist. I don't know if I want to work with him again, but but no, you can't overstate his talent.
Well, now questions to you. Okay, the first question will be here, gentlemen.
It's Rodrigo Fonseca from TV Globo, Brazil. I have two questions. The first for Noah. I would like you to tell a few words about your work with Robbie Ryan, your cinematographer. The cinematographer of the film is great. And to Mr. Sandler. 15 years ago, you gave us a present called Punch Drunk Love. 10 years ago, you gave us another present called Rain Over Me. And now, another present, the MEYEROWITZ story. What's the importance? Those are dramas. What are the importance of dramas to your career? What's the place for drama at your career?
You want to go in reverse?
You go first, Noah.
Well, Robbie Ryan, who shot the movie, who's just brilliant, and I had loved his work before, and I met with him, and we just, it's that thing where you click with somebody. It's like when you meet an actor, and it's the right fit, and I think what I wanted, which is what it turned out to be, is I'd shot a bunch of movies in New York already in a row, and I wanted sort of new eyes on the city, and I wanted, as kind of an outsider to my kind of insider way of looking at that place. And also, I wanted to kind of develop a certain kind of camera movement and a kind of feeling of kind of, I suppose, what you would say mise en scène here. And then in America, it's pretentious. Here, it's French, yeah. So he kind of helped me, I think, sort of develop a certain kind of look and feel that I'd been kind of pushing toward in the last few movies, and I felt like we kind of broke through something for me. And and he's an artist. He's a special person, and it's that thing when you find the person, a person that you click with, and you want to just keep doing things with them.
Yes, and also the importance of those movies you mentioned. It's different for a comedian when you get an offer like this. And my first thought is I don't want to let anybody down, and I work as hard as I can to make sure I know the material and just try to be as good as I can be. But when I think Ben's, he kind of, we talked a while ago about doing a movie together. We said we wanted to play brothers in a movie, right? And then we all sat together with Noah, and this all came about, and I can't thank him enough, and Noah enough. And I just after reading the script, just said I something about that character I felt very close to, and I just. That's it. That's the goal. Not to let these guys down. I certainly didn't want to let Noah down.
Question over here. Yes?
Yes, over here.
Well, they saw them.
My name is Marcus, and I'm from Sweden. First of all, I just want to say welcome to Cannes. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you.
My first question goes to Adam Sandler. Can you tell us what have been the best parts with working with this movie? And the second question goes to Ben Stiller. How did you prepare your role for this movie? And the last question is to Dustin Hoffman, the legend.
Yeah.
How has it been to working with Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller on this project?
All right, who's going to start? Well,
Very
Ben.
nice. I forgot my part. What
was it like to work with the legend Ben Stiller on the
Attaboy. Attaboy. It was great. It was great. Listen, we had an amazing time making the movie. We all worked very hard together, and we got to know each other. We know. I know Ben since we're 22 or something. That's a long time. And Dustin, I know forever too. He was nice to me when I was a young. When I did Billy Madison, his son liked Billy Madison, and I got invited to go to Dustin's house and say hi to his family and hang out with Dustin. He treated me we were close immediately. Dustin came to my wedding. Dustin's just been in my life a long time, and had an amazing time getting to know Emma. I love being with her, love laughing with her. She's a wonderful lady, and I'm glad that I get to tell my kids that I'm friends with Nanny McVie, and that helps. And with Noah, we're tight now. I just love him as a person. I love him as I love talking to him. I love laughing with him, and that's it. It's been an amazing process.
What about you, Ben, the legend?
You know, I have to say, you know, just like all joking aside, for me, it's never, I never take it lightly to be ever, you know, in the presence of Dustin, because first of all, I just appreciate him so much as an actor. And for me growing up, he was such an important actor in terms of what I wanted to do, watching him, being inspired by him. And then getting a chance to know him over the years in working on, you know, the Fokker movies. We worked in a certain context, which was really amazing to have that chance. And then I never thought I'd actually get a chance to work with him on a different kind of movie. And every time I'm with him, I just appreciate it so much because he's an incredibly kind and generous person. He's very funny, and he's very self-effacing, but you know, there's no denying his body of work. It is depressing to talk with him sometimes at dinner because every story he'll tell is about some other classic movie he's made. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
He can't even pull out one that's like, I don't even know there's one that's, well, probably a couple, but it's not like, you know, it's just daunting, his body of work. And then what it makes me think of as an actor is the choices, because you know, you make these choices as an actor, and he's made these incredible choices from the beginning. So I'm never not appreciative of that. And working with Adam, for me, Adam and I have known each other for years and years. This was a really special experience, having a chance to connect with him like this. I think at where we're both at in our lives, personally, it was a chance for us to really get closer than we've ever been before, I feel.
Absolutely.
And playing brothers, it was, really, for me, it was like one of the best experiences I've had.
Me too, buddy. Yes.
Dustin, what about you?
I resent people saying that they grew up with my... everyone who's older than me, can you please stand up? Actually, when I read the script, I passed on it. I didn't want to do it because...
Which put me in very good company.
Yes, that's true.
He passed on Ingmar Bergman twice.
Yes. I didn't want to play an old man. I thought I was perfect for either of their parts. And my son, Jake, talked me into doing this.
That's right.
Question over here.
Hi, Jada Yuan from New York Magazine. I wanted to ask Adam and Ben about your fight scene, and if you could talk about shooting that, and then also to Noah and Adam about the songs in the movie, because they sound a little bit like SNL songs or like the ones you used to do in your comedy. So I was just curious, like how they came about.
That fight scene was rougher than I wanted it to be. Ben has a more solid body than I was expecting. He wasn't very easy. He wasn't easy to move, and he came at me.
Low center of gravity.
Yeah,
There wasn't any. It's a very low budget movie, so there wasn't any. There was a stunt coordinator, kind of.
Was there?
But there was no rehearsal at all.
He kept saying whatever a lot. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You guys will get out there and you'll just let it happen. And Noah does like to do a number of takes. I'm saying that. I mean, there's a lot of takes.
Yeah.
And we ended up.
He hurt
feeling
me.
it. Yeah.
He hurt me more.
Yeah. I mean, I got it too. I wasn't actually physically bruised, but you had something on your.
I had one of the biggest bruises I've ever had in my life on my arm, and that was by like take 34. I was saying to Ben, hey, just so you know, right here, it hurts me a lot. If you could start the fight off in the middle of the chest area, that would help me. And then Noah would call action, and then bam, I'd be like, I don't think he heard me. He went straight to the bruise again.
I'm sorry. Actually, the dangerous part was, I think you cut it out of the movie, was when Judd Hirsch got us in a double headlock. Judd Hirsch is not. I think he's a little bit older than you.
Yes.
And he is not. I mean, it was painful. It was
He had
painful.
strong arms, yeah.
Yeah.
He locked us up pretty good in the headlock.
Yeah.
Well, but also, when we all talked before I wrote the script, and we as you were talking about, we talked. There was the thought a physical fight should occur in the movie. So
Yes.
in a way, I reverse engineered the whole movie from the physical fight.
You did? Yeah, that's right. But Ben's a good fighter.
And what
Horrible
about
fighter. I'm horrible.
and what about the writing and singing? that the
Oh
lady
yes,
talked
that's
about?
a great question. That was how did that happen? Just
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of done in the spirit of I think what those songs are, which is sort of songs you create with your family if you're that kind of family. You know that they're kind of half improvised. They're sung over time. They get refined, but they always have this sort of inside joke quality to them. And so you know I think you know Adam. If you have Adam in your movie, I think you if you can, you'd like him to sing and play piano, and so it was a way to justify that.
yeah, that was great.
Right. Question here.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ingeborg Olstad from Norwegian newspaper Dagbladet. Congratulations on your movie. I found it really interesting. I have two questions.
That's
First,
not a good word.
What would
it's
be
the
a
best
good
word. You
word?
can have endless conversations about them. And, but
You really didn't like it, did you?
I loved it, and I've loved all of. Well, and I'm going to prove it because I've been interested in a lot of the themes in Mr. Baumbach's movies, and I think one of them are about sons and fathers, and the way sort of professional pride and emotional vulnerability go into to create these conflicts. So I'm wondering, what is it about this that is interesting to you, and why is the professional and the caring part so mixed up? And also, if I could ask Mr. Still and Mr. Sandler, why do you think you have your respective brothers? Could you swap parts, or is there something about your skills as actors, as people, that make you particularly suited to the very brother that you got, so to speak? Thank you.
It's an interesting question. Well, actually, to go to the last part first, when I showed some people the script for the first time, I wrote them very specifically. I wrote Danny for Adam and Matthew for Ben, and I thought, because that was how it was inside me, I thought that would be clear. But when I showed it to a couple people to read, they immediately assumed the reverse.
Right, yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
heard that.
I'm not even sure why, but that was the case. But I always saw it that way. I don't. You guys can talk about that. Fathers and sons, and yeah. Well, I mean, I think I'm. In various ways in my movies, I'm interested in sort of the gap between who we think we are or who we want to be and who we are, and how far that gap is, and obviously success and professional success and fame and and the arts is a kind of way to explore that, because you also can put it on this other thing, which, as Harold does in the movie, which is always feeling less than. And I think that was something in this movie I wanted to get into, was also what does success mean, and mean to different people. I mean, Danny feels like a failure to some degree, but he's actually just a hugely successful father, and but in this family, that's not valued in the same way. And so I think, it's a family, the Meyerowitz family is a family, I think, which is families, I think, that, that I've known and are familiar with, and where in some ways art is the religion, and that takes the place of everything, and that's what your belief system is. And so Matthew feels like a failure because he's not an artist, even though he makes money, and Danny feels like a failure because he's a father and a house husband and not an artist, or an artist with any success or anything, and Harold feels like a failure because he's not a successful artist. So it's so I mean, that's just one of the things I think, of the many things that were kind of interesting to me about, and that I found myself getting into with this movie. But it's a way to explore what you're saying.
an interesting answer.
Thank you.
And you?
Our roles. I like Ben's role also. I could see doing Ben's part if we did
Do it in
again.
rep. Yeah.
Yeah. If we go on the road with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I called you, right, when I first read it.
You said, I think I didn't get the first 40 pages. The script was mixed up.
No, but I did. I remember we had a conversation about it, like, because I think because you did have a very specific idea, and I didn't quite. I mean, I saw what it was, but I didn't really get the role the first time I read it. Probably because you had such a specific idea of why you wanted me to play it that I didn't understand. That I felt like maybe I got to understand more, which I've never had that experience.
Yeah.
I think I almost like read it and go, well, I thought, well, maybe is this like, am I right for this, or have I done this kind of thing before or something? I was sort of feeling, I didn't understand how to connect with him, and then you explained to me what you were thinking, and I think it was one of those things where I was almost, in a way, some parts of me were too close to it, probably, personally.
Do you know what? Doesn't it, as an outsider, because I sort of am, and I'm in the film as well, it's just occurred to me that all of those characters, in fact, all the characters in the film except Grace, are operating from a sort of position of shame. Harold, because he hasn't been successful. Ben, because he earns money, which means success, but not in his family. You, because you're not. Everyone, me, because I'm an alcoholic, and I've married someone who I thought was going to make me sort of more important. So everyone's ashamed, and so many human beings feel that so much of the time. And the only one who doesn't feel shame is Grace's character, who makes these unbelievable movies that just say, there's no shame in her at all. And I think that's what I think is one of the most truthful things about this film, is that we all, when we feel ashamed, which we do so often because all our culture is built around this kind of this shaming thing. That's why I think it's so powerful. It just occurred to me. Sorry.
Let's have Emma answer all the questions.
Yeah, that was great. Very precise. Yeah, that's great, Emma.
Question here.
And in French. Yeah.
Denis Kushnarov, TV channel Inter Ukraine. Thank you very much for your amazing story about the family which trying to come together in spite of all that hardships and difficulties. It reminds me of my own family. So I wonder, how do you overcome such family discordance in your real life? Just provide a few examples. Thank you.
All right.
That was great.
About 18 years of therapy, I guess.
Yeah.
Therapy's good, yeah.
Therapy's great.
That doesn't end, though. Therapy doesn't end. That's what you find out when you get older.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. It's fun. What were you going to say?
Nothing. I was going to point to somebody's question.
Oh, I like that. Good job.
Hi, good
Thank you.
morning. My question is for Dustin Hoffman. My name is Damian Hoffman. I'm from Argentina.
dated my
For Todas
mother.
Noticias and Canal 13. I want to know
Can you turn sideways? I just want to look at your nose.
It was that press tour 25 years ago.
Yeah.
It was Hook. I think it was Hook.
It was
Might
Hook.
have been Hook.
It was Hook.
I always
With the pirate outfit.
many people in Argentina ask me if we are related, and of course I say yes, we are related. Now my question is there any influence or relative or friend or colleague that you took the inspiration to build this character? And I also want to know Noah and all the cast member opinion about all the Netflix controversy this year. This is a Netflix production, and Pedro Almodóvar, the jury of the president, said that it will be like
I haven't
a
heard
paradox.
this. Yeah. I haven't heard this.
It's like a paradox to reward with the Palme d'Or, a film that won't be seen in the big screen.
Yeah, but he said that about Happy Gilmore too.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
I want to know if this film will be seen in the big screen or only on Netflix, and what do you think? Do you use Netflix and other online platforms to watch film and series? Thank you.
So let's get back to your, you maybe being this guy's father.
No, as I said before, Noah and I met many times and kind of compared both our fathers, and that's the honest answer. And I'm married to someone who knew my father and like many of us, we are our father at certain points. And she always points it out to me and says, my father's name was Harry. She says, you're being Harry. And then someone said, we mock who we are soon to become.
Yeah.
As far as the big screen, I have a very big screen.
Yeah, it's going to play in Dustin Hoffman's living room, so it'll be fine. Well, what I will say is, you know, I made this movie independently, with independent money, and I shot it on Super 16. And I made this movie as I've made all my movies, with the expectation that it'll be shown on the big screen. And because I believe in that, and you know, I think it's a unique and you know, singular experience that, you know, is not going away, in my opinion. And Netflix acquired it in post-production, and you know, they've been hugely supportive, and you know, I feel very appreciative to them.
Last question here.
Hello. Elena from Uzbekistan TV. First of all, I would like to thank Ben and Adam, because I still have tears in my eyes after these 2 speeches in the exhibition scene. It's wonderful. And I wanted to ask everyone who wants to answer, how was this process of creating dramatic element in your film, which is such a funny film on the superficial layer, but what did you do to make it so emotional to the audience? Maybe Emma, if you can also help.
Yeah, Emma, why don't you answer?
To say your opinion, but also all other actors if you want.
The first thing to say is that the funny bit is not the superficial bit. It's the deepest bit, actually, I think. I mean, that's what's so surprising about the film, is it's very funny, and then it's suddenly terribly moving, which, for me, anyway, is the most satisfying form of drama that there is. If it's not funny, I can't really cope with it, watching it, actually. I mean, this is a very personal response. You know, if I'm casting anything, I say, and this is why Noah's got such a great cast, because everyone is funny here. We're all people who are also comedians, and I think that makes all the difference, because then when you've laughed and then you can suddenly do something very serious, but that's what life's like. I mean, you know what comedy's like? It's so hard. It makes you miserable. So it's wonderful to be able to be funny and then be serious. So the process is extremely satisfying. That's what I'd like to say.
Thank you, Emma. That's good. Interesting.
Intéressant, s'il vous plaît.
I mean, I don't distinguish. I mean, when I'm writing it or we're shooting it, you know, I'm going for a sort of musicality even. It's like a feeling, and it feels, you know, as a director, when I'm writing it, I'm sort of, it's a rhythm and a thing that I'm kind of feeling my way through, and I'm not stopping and thinking like we need a serious moment here or a funny moment here. To me, they're indistinguishable. It's all part of the same thing, and when I'm directing it, I'm looking for a feeling, and it's not, you know, and it isn't a checklist of funny or serious or we need to go this way or that way. I think they happen simultaneously, and you know, and that's what I like, and I like that feeling. But Emma's right is that having people who on some level have humor, you know, embedded in everything is very important, I think, to the material, because it almost feels funny even if it's not, and so that's one way I guess I kind of look at it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being in Cannes, Noah Baumbach.
Thank you.
Waiting for you.
Hi, sure. Thank you. Thanks, Emma.
How do you keep in shape? You look so